Well, if you couldn't tell already, I like this series more than the other ones at the moment. So the other ones are kind of getting put away a little bit. I am probably gonna make another 1 hour one. But skip 10 seconds. Just do it. Alright, now that we're back, the reason I told you to skip like 10 seconds is because, I can start fucking swearing now, so we're good. But, let's start off with the what if, shall we? When it comes down to everything, after that instance, after the fight, as Izuku started walking home, Aizawa was videotaping all of that shit. And he just kinda... Okay. What the hell? Just like... Why? Why did this kid... Like, and Izuku just walks home. But Aizawa ends up basically, like, going back to the commissioner's office, pulls out a DVD and just says, "You have something to play this?" "Yeah, alright." Put up the projector. Just like... And mind you, this is, like, kinda late in the night. Not amazingly early, but not amazingly late. It's kind of like 8-ish. Maybe like 9:30. But, Izuku, like, the commissioner just kind of watches what I just described. And, there's just a pause that would go for a couple seconds. And like, oh, they jumped him though. It's like, yes. And he won. Yes. Did he get hit? Yes. Was he moving? No. He didn't need to move. Yes. Oh my god. What is this child? Like, because she doesn't know what the fuck to think anymore. Because she's like, alright, we need to get this kid, like, see if this kid wants to be a hero or not. Like, because we have just seen him and he's a fucking monster. Right? He's an animal, man. Like, the fuck? It's insane how strong he is. And how many punches. Like, the commissioner, I'm gonna say, last time I'm like pretty sure this is a known thing from the commissioner too. Because, let's be real, Nana would have probably told the commissioner. Because in this one, they were closer friends, but, she just calls All Might. Just flat out, offhand, just whoop. All Might. Yeah, no, I need you in my office. Office come tomorrow morning? Now? It'll be quick. It'll be a quick one. Like, Izuku, it's about that kid that everyone's been talking about. Yeah, the Midoriya kid. Come tomorrow morning. Hangs up the phone. Sets it down. Aizawa's just like, alright, I'm off the clock. I'm gonna go take a nap. Like, and he just walks off. shuts the door. And she just rewatches it. Like 3 more times to see like, alright, so this kid is confident in the way he fights, like he has fought before. Which, has he? Like, and he just kind of walks over to a filing cabinet, pulls out a records, and there was like a time when Izuku like beat the shit out of like 3 people kinda recently. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And he pulls out one of the picture of the 3 kids and just starts comparing faces. And it's like, oh, this makes sense. Like, and they tried, they failed, they got fucking wrecked. God. But, back to Izuku. And oh yes, I believe it is Night Beast. He came out the womb with black Air Forces. He was goated from the second he slid out, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. But, fuck. But when it comes down to everything, Izuku, who is one of those types of people that, hey, now that he's home, he's gonna crash because he's tired. That tuckered him out a bit. Right? He, like, passes out for an hour in his bed. Wakes up, eats, like, dinner. Stays up for a couple more hours, and then actually goes to sleep. The next day of school. This one's gonna get interesting. Izuku, one moment. Izuku goes to the little bus stop that he usually would go to get to school. Alongside Shoji. I remembered. Fuck, it's almost like there were like a good amount of comments that I may or may not have read, but I couldn't really change the other ones because they were pre-recorded, you see. But I could change this one, Shoji. But and if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, yeah, deal with it. I don't know. Oh, but if I am pronouncing it right, I realize that, granted, I don't do Naruto much, but I do know the team. What was it? Shikacho? Yeah, Shikacho. Yeah. Team name. And with Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji. Yeah, but when it comes down to it, Izuku does have, like, other friends other than, like, Shoji. Right? Izuku has people. It's just like Shoji sometimes wants to hang out by himself, and that's when he gets fucked with. But, when Izuku gets on the bus, goes, and it's a usual school day, right? Goes in the hallway, wearing his new black Air Forces. Anyway, but, yeah, no, he's walking. To be honest, he likes the shoes. They're nice. And then, like, he stops because someone passes in front of him. And just, like, they purposefully fucking step on his shit. On some stink meaner. Hold up. I smell new shoes. Like, just like, on that bullshit. And the people that were behind Izuku that seen it grabbed the people that don't and duck. Because the person who did it was Katsuki. And he did not expect this reaction from Izuku. So, I'm gonna just show you a clip. Kinda how hard he slaps him. Just 1 minute. But yeah, you get a load of that shit. And just like that man, he's fucking sleeping. Like, in the midst of that slap. Because there's a reason why the people behind Izuku ducked. Because unlike in that photo, Izuku reeled his fucking arm back. And I'm gonna give a reason for why I did it the way that I did do it, and how he could basically damn near turn his fucking body 180 degrees. Now you're like, what the fuck do you mean by that? Everything from the hips up turned. Well, everything from like underneath, like under the rib cage turned. And rotated to slap the shit out of Katsuki. Because, like, granted, you'll displace some stuff if you kinda snap your, God, what is it, vertebrae? No, spinal. Anyway, fuck, goddamn. Mike Tyson, son of a bitch. But, what happens is Izuku just kind of pops one of his vertebrae out of socket, because all he really needs to do is make sure that the, God, what was it? Wait, no, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, no, scratch that. I forgot Izuku had regeneration. My bad. So, like, he wrenched, and there was the sounds of bone cracking, like, cracking and shit. And when Katsuki, like, got off his foot, took a step, and he said, "Watch where you're going, ass," and just got slapped. Immediately, like. And this was, like, when Izuku, there was, like, a hallway, a camera, like, down the hallway, but, there was too many people to realize what the fuck just happened. So, when Katsuki got fucking clapped in the side of the head, like, his ass went to sleep, and Izuku was like, this motherfucker, man. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. Does he like this? This as his body goes back to the way it's fucking supposed to be. Piece of shit. Come on, let's go. And he just kind of rubs the tip of his shoe in Katsuki's hair to clean that shit off. It's like, asshole. Just starts walking off. Like, and people expected this shit to happen. Like, because Katsuki was already clearly in a shitty mood that day. And this was like in the middle of class swapping. So, and I'm gonna say like this is, no, fuck it. I'm gonna change the timeline a little bit. This is high school. We jumped from the last incident. But, yeah, no, Izuku just kind of slapped him. And granted, like, Mr. X has been, like, taking down and committing murders, but, like, no one could catch him. He doesn't have any fingerprints, he doesn't leave any DNA, like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Ew, it's not like he leaves witnesses alive to tell people, like... What? It's fucking insane. But, Izuku during all this just kinda leaves. Like, he goes to his class. And Shoji's just like... I don't know either, man. He got some problems. Him and his boys split up and go to different classes. And it's the time where UA college, because it works better, damn it, would go on, right? And as you all know, Izuku would sign up. And All Might did see the video. And he was like, you need to kind of watch this neighborhood. And he just kind of gives All Might a little, like, side note, because they're like, hold up, why the fuck did Aizawa not do anything? Because he couldn't. I did not order him to do anything. He was told to observe this child. And he's like, the fuck? He had to have given those kids concussions. He sent one into a lake. Like, he's like, yeah, but he kind of deserved it, though. What do you mean? They... Alright. Pause the video. These three people started fights with him already. They then proceeded to get people together to beat his ass. And it's just like, oh. I mean, I'll watch the area, but if something like that happens, I'm gonna get involved. It's like, yeah, of course. But, yeah, back to the present. Katsuki and Izuku are not in the same class. The school system knows better. But, yes, the school system knows better. Dear Lord, what happened last time they were in the same classroom. Flashbacks to like a month before summer vacation. We have a flashback to like Katsuki being sent through a wall because he tried to use explosives on Shoji. And the flashback, like, Izuku takes defending himself, quote unquote, seriously, right? Izuku's like, has expressed to Katsuki that the only reason he's not beating his ass is because his mother is a good person. Like, so you're only getting a one and done. Like, that's the level that Izuku's on with him. Because he has met Katsuki's mother, and granted, he called her a bad parent and told her that her child was a gremlin. She didn't have anything else to say because everything he said was accurate. It was kind of rocky at first, but they're like decent now. Right? Izuku did apologize to her, but he's not going to apologize to Katsuki. And it's like a parent, he's not going to... And like, the parent would even say, oh yeah, no, he did already. Even though he didn't. Like, that's the kind of person I see Mitsuki as. Like, my son got his ass beat because he was acting stupid. Why would I do anything? Like, it's one of those situations where, granted, like, Mitsuki is a good person, right? She's sometimes stupid, and, like, stupidly defends her child, but Izuku don't give a fuck. He just doesn't care. It's just blatant. Granted, like, there's all this other shit that could be going on in his life, in Katsuki's life, like, oh, my father just died, he wouldn't give a fuck. If you act dumb around Izuku to try to fight him or start ish, he's going to beat you down like a dog. Like, he doesn't care. Which Katsuki at this point should already know. But he's too stubborn and hasn't been hit hard enough. Like, Katsuki, I know, is just one of those people that has to learn via his actions have consequences. That's just the way I see Katsuki as a character. He's annoying. But, back to it. Back to the G, Deku. But, fuck. Izuku just kinda, after he goes home, because the sludge villain thing doesn't happen, because I moved him closer to Shoji's house. But regardless of the fact, Izuku's still kinda on the 10-month time span, which, like, he's like, okay, I guess I'ma just train. And in those 10 months, he grows to the height of someone much bigger than they should be. Like, Izuku was already pretty fucking big, right? He was already like 6 foot. Some shit. He hit 8 in those 10 months. Which, like, kinda got people concerned, but and it's weird because they're saying it's part of his quirk. But, like, Izuku, in reality, Izuku actually has gigantism. Like, that's actually how that shit is. Is because the fucking genome of Nemesis and Mr. X have literal people that had gigantism in it, i.e. the subjects that were listed for key DNA. So that's why I'm making Nemesis so tall. He physically, like, has gigantism. Because that makes sense. But unlike people with, like, actual problems like gigantism, he can work through that shit kinda, like, he doesn't have any problems. Because technically, Izuku's kind of immortal. Because his cells are in a never-ending state of regeneration and revitalization. Izuku will live. It's kind of like the Mark thing. Why did you make me do this? Think, Mark, think. Anyway. Hey, but fuck. I feel memey today. God damn. But, when it comes down to Izuku and just how he is in general, it's one of those situations to where, granted, it's like when Izuku goes to the front gate of UA, it's one of those situations to where, like, people know who he is. Because Izuku built up a fucking reputation. Just between schools. Of, like, not a troublemaker, but someone that don't take shit. Right? He's one of those types of people that is completely and utterly fine with fucking you over and beating your ass if you act dumb. Like, which, to be all honest, Izuku kind of starts fights at this point not only because because he has a boredom and people are acting stupid. It's literally because he doesn't know what else to do, right? None of the people that are watching him, or like specifically his mother and him, are threats. That kind of shit, right? So he doesn't know. And I'm just gonna let you know now, like, Izuku's not taking the, like, test. Like, he's taken a really dumbed down version of the test, but the physical capabilities test is gonna be significantly different. Because Izuku's kind of having a privatized test, right? Because they're gonna put him up against, like, an actual person. Like, now you're like, wait, hold up, what do you mean an actual person? Who are they putting up against? God, ectoplasm. They're putting him up against a grown-ass man. But, ectoplasm, as you all know, is a guy who could undergo fucking mitosis. But his clones, like, they are the equivalency of, like, Naruto's first shadow clone. If you poke them, they die. Like, it doesn't really matter. But, anyway. When it comes down to it, Izuku is more or less a type of person that will... know what? Nah, fuck it. I'm not... Enough talking about his personality. I know what y'all want. Y'all want the fight scene. Because at first, ectoplasm is only making 2 people. Because he doesn't know the exact file of this kid. And he knows it's a kid. Which confuses him even more because he's taller than him. But, Izuku just kinda... And no, there wasn't any real, like, interaction between anyone in the front door. Right? Because in the front door, like, no one was... Like, Ida knows who Izuku is. But he ain't dumb enough to step to him. He did that once already. And, Ida kind of got his rules thrown right back in his mouth. Like, you know, as per usual. But, Izuku just kind of, like, doesn't really even get in a fighting stance. Right? Ectoplasm sends 2 clones at him. And Izuku just stands there taking hits. And then he slaps both of them and they go flying. Like... And Izuku just starts walking towards the regular ectoplasm. Just like... And he doesn't even look haggard. Now, and this is like a couple yards. I'm gonna say this is like a 16-yard gap in between them, which is pretty far. But, like, Izuku's just calmly walking at this point, and, like, ectoplasm ups it to about 10. Which, these ectoplasms are starting to, beat at Izuku more and more, and Izuku's just walking still. Like, it's not even... They're not even knocking him off balance. Even ones that are not trying to knock him off balance, like, are seemingly poofing. And then ones that, like, punch him after one of them go poof, like, they poof too. Like, it's almost as if spikes are growing out of Izuku's skin of calcified veins and stabbing them in the hands and popping them like fucking balloons. But then like he starts to get serious and summons an extreme, like a more vibrant amount of clones, right? And you're like, how vibrant is it? About God, I said 10 last time. About 25. I'm technically 26 because Izuku's getting close enough for him to start being a problem. And the entire time, just like, Izuku's like, alright, now he finally moved. Question now is, which one? Like, and during this fight, Izuku has rigid but powerful movements, and he's being watched by Nezu and other people. And then Izuku's like, oh, I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. So he flicks his hand out, like it's like a backhand for the people on the right side of him. It was a tentacle. It proceeded to wrap around his body and poof a significant portion of them, grab the original ectoplasm by the neck and just pick him up, slam him into the ground. And like kind of do that. And the entire time he couldn't breathe either. Like, and after like 3 of those, Izuku just lifts him up. He's like trying to make more clones, but like bony intrusions just kind of, extrusions kind of shoot out, look like they're attached to veins and stab into the clones like while they're being made as he's undergoing mitosis. So like sometimes he gets like nicked and stuff, but Izuku's not trying to infect him, so it's not going to do anything. And because Izuku's like thing is he has to knock his target unconscious, and he just walks over to him, right hand still extended outwards holding the tentacle, reels his left hand back and just clocks him dead in the fucking mouth. And almost immediately as he does that, he lets go of him, sends him flying into a wall, and his ass is asleep. That, my friends, was the test. And Izuku aced that shit. Not even a scratch or look of fucking haggard on him. And Izuku just says, so did I pass? Like, yeah, you passed, awesome. And he just starts walking off. Like, and they didn't really expect Ectoplasm to win, but they didn't expect him to get bitched. Like how he did. Izuku treated him and his clones like fucking flies. Because in reality, Ectoplasm's just a fucking muscly dude with clones of himself. With, like, if you poke them, they die. Like, why? It's not gonna do anything to Nemesis. If it was someone like All Might, yeah, sure, I'll be worried, but, like, it's Ectoplasm versus fucking Nemesis. A man that could undergo mitosis and shit out, like, half-assed shadow clones. Or fucking a Nemesis. I'm putting my money on Nemesis. Like, I don't know, Chief. this was kind of a one-sided and kind of weird episode. Granted, because mid-scene I kind of did a time skip, but it fit. Because that would have happened twice. Granted, there would be different people behind them because friends come and go. But Izuku kinda don't give a fuck. But regardless, I feel like that's it. I hope all of you have enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all that other shit. And have a nice day. Goodbye.